Hello children, I hope you all are happy and safe today. Welcome to our special English hour. Here, every day we will learn something new in a fun and very exciting way. Are you all ready to have some fun? It is time for a new tongue twister. Let us find out what it is. I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. Let me repeat it one more time. I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. Now I want all of you to repeat it after me. I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. Now let's try to increase the pace a little bit. I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. Still sound a little easy, right? Now let's increase the pace a little bit more. I want all of you to say this with me. Do you all remember? We have to say it with the same speed 5 times. Let's go. I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. I saw it in... Oops. No problem, but I'm sure with a lot of practice, we will all be able to say it with the same speed 5 times. I hope you all had fun saying the tongue twister with me. Now, we all know that words are very important for a language. So it's time to learn some new words. I want all of you to listen to me very carefully. Our first word is valet. 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 Our second word is dawn. 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 Our third word is trumpeters. 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 Our fourth word is summon. 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 Our fifth and the last word is trembling. 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 Children, let me ask you all a question. Did you ever have a silly or an interesting dream when you were younger? Something that you can never forget. Let me tell you mine. I still remember I always dreamt of a chocolate world. Yes, a world filled with everything made of chocolate. Chocolate cars, chocolate buses, chocolate houses, chocolate rivers, chocolate swings, chocolate slides, even chocolate trees. To be honest, I still sometimes dream of a chocolate world. But wouldn't it be amazing? Can you imagine? Only if, right? Today, we will read one such poem where a boy dreams of a world where he is the king. Please open page number 55 of your English Bal Bharati textbook. If you finger on the words as I read them. And if you don't have a textbook, please don't worry. Listen to me carefully. Also, while we read the poem, I want all of you to look for the 5 new words that we learnt earlier today. The name of our poem is Tartary. If I were Lord of Tartary, myself and me alone, my bed should be of ivory, of beaten gold my throne, and in my court should peacocks flaunt, and in my forests tigers haunt, and in my pools great fishes slant, their fins athwart the sun. In this stanza, the poet is expressing his thoughts of wanting to rule over the land of Tartary. He then goes on to describe the luxuries that he will have in this imaginary world of his. He says that his bed should not be any ordinary bed. It should be made of ivory. Ivory is the material that we get from the tusks and teeth of animals like elephant. He then tells us that even his throne should be made of pure gold. He then tells us the different magnificent sceneries in his court. He tells us that the court should be so big that peacocks should dance in it. Yes, he wants to see tigers hunting in his forest. In fact, he also tells us that he wants to see beautiful big fishes swimming in the pools of this imaginary land. And these fishes should be so beautiful that their fins should be golden and reflect the rays of the sun. In short, in this stanza, he is describing the different types of sceneries of this imaginary world. If I were Lord of Tartary, trumpeters every day to every meal would summon me, and in my courtyard bray, and in the evening lamps would shine, yellow as honey, red as wine, while harp and flute and mandolin made music sweet and gay. Children, can you all see any of the 5 new words that we had learnt earlier today in this stanza? Yes, trumpeters and summon. In this stanza, the poet goes on to tell us the different royal features that he will have in his court. First, he tells us that he will have trumpeters to summon him for every meal. Trumpeters are the musicians who play the instrument trumpet. And to summon means to call for someone. So what he is trying to say here is he will have trumpeters play the trumpet very, very loudly for every meal so that he knows that he has to come and eat. He then goes on to tell us that during the evening, he will have beautiful lights lit in his courtyard. He will also have musical instruments like harp, flute and mandolin played in his court. The combination of these beautiful lights and pleasant music will create a wonderful atmosphere. If I were Lord of Tartary, I'd wear a robe of beads. White and gold and green they'd be, and clustered thick as seeds. And ere should wane the morning star, I don my robe and scimitar. And zebras 7 should draw my car through Tartari's dark glades. Children, can you find any of the other words that we had learned earlier today in this stanza? Yes, dawn. The poet, like all the other stanzas, begins this stanza also by showing his interest in ruling the kingdom of Tartary. However, in this stanza, he talks about himself. He says that he wants to have a magnificent gown, a very, very long gown that will be made up of countless green and golden beads. He tells us that he will wear his gown even before the stars have disappeared and carry his curved sword and go for a morning stroll in his carriage. And this carriage will be drawn by 7 zebras in the thick and beautiful forest of Tartary. Now, this stanza very clearly tells us how the poet not only wants his dreamland to be beautiful, but he wants himself to be as beautiful and charming as his dreamland of Tartary. Lord of the fruits of Tartary, her rivers silver pale, Lord of the hills of Tartary, glen, thicket, wood and dale. Her flashing stars, her scented breeze, her trembling lake like foamless seas. Her bird delighting citron trees in every purple vale. This poem is written by Walter de la Mare. Children, can you find any of the other words that we had learned earlier today in this stanza? Yes, trembling and wail. In this final stanza, the poet shows his interest of wanting to rule over everything in his dreamland. He tells us how he wants to rule over the different types of fruits, different types of rivers. In fact, he also wants to rule over hills, valleys, and even small forests. In the last few lines, he tells us how beautiful his dreamland actually is. The sky will be filled with beautiful stars. The breeze will have a fragrance. He will have rivers that are as white and clear as the foamless sea, and they will be trembling. Trembling means to shake vigorously. He then goes on to tell us that he will also have citron trees where happy birds will sit and sing delightful songs. And finally, he tells us that every valley in his beautiful land will be filled with purple flowers. I hope you all like this beautiful dreamland created by Walter de la Mare. I hope you all like this wonderful poem. Now let us do a small activity. On your screen, you will see some words. You will also see the meaning of these words. You have to match these words to their correct meanings. All the best! Now let us look at the answers. Our first word is flaunt. Which of these meanings do you think is right? Yes, flaunt means to show off proudly. Our second word is slant. Can you all tell me which of these meanings do you think is right? Yes, slant means tilt, move at an angle. Our next word is beaten gold. Can you all tell me which of these meanings is the correct one? Very good. Gold hammered into a flat, thin shape. Now the last word, athwart. And the correct meaning of athwart is across, especially at a slanting direction. I hope you all liked learning with me. Now it's time for all of you to sit back and relax while I tell you all a wonderful story. In the beginning of today's session, we talked about how my dream was of a chocolate world. Now, let us find out what Tina's dream looks like. The name of today's story is Tina's Dream, and it is written by Hello English. Tina is a lovely little girl who loves playing with her friends. Today, after she is done playing with her friends, her family calls her back home and asks her to have food with them. Now Tina waves goodbye to her friends and goes back home. As soon as she's done having dinner, she brushes her teeth and gets ready for bed. But when she climbs onto her bed, she finds a ring near her pillow. Now this is a very new ring. She has never seen it. And this ring is glowing. She puts it on her finger, and just when she is about to ask where is this ring from, she falls asleep. As soon as she falls asleep, Tina feels like she is floating in the air. She feels like she is flying across hills at the night time. And she is accompanied by different strange creatures. Some of them are very long and purple in color, and some are wearing helmets. Tina was flying over hills with her alien friends, and on her way, she came across a village entirely made up of mushrooms. Can you even imagine a village made of mushrooms? And to top it, even the people and children were mushrooms. She saw them dancing in their mushroom houses. After crossing the mushroom village, Tina came across a land of goodies. Yes, a land filled with different food items. She saw ice cream, candy floss, candies, different types of chocolates. Yes. And if you look a little closely, you will also find different things like a cricket bat and a penguin. After crossing this land of food, Tina and her friends came across the land of orange soda. Her friends gave her a straw and she drank as much as she could. Now her tummy was full and she could not stop burping. After crossing the land of orange soda, they came across a land of cakes. Wow! So many different flavored cakes. Lime, orange, strawberry and lemon. She took a piece of the lemon cake and saw that it was covered with different types of gems. Now, she took a gigantic bite, but she could not finish it. It was really sweet. Now, Tina decided to float in the air for a little while. After all, she was filled, right? And just when she was floating, a lot of other friends also joined her. They told her that they want to show her a lot of different places. Now, Tina is very excited to see all these places. Now, her friends took her to a land filled with cats and elephants. On top of the land were bricks made of jelly. Just when Tina touched them, they started wobbling. And seeing this, Tina laughed a lot. Her friends warned her not to eat these bricks. But Tina did not listen to them. Tina took a bite of these bricks and she found herself falling down. Now, all of her friends and Tina had landed in the woods. Now, her friends were very upset with her. They told her that she should have listened to them. And now her dream was coming to an end. And she could not see what the final prize was. Hearing this, Tina feels very agitated. She wants to know what the big prize actually is. Suddenly, all of Tina's friends vanished and Tina found herself spinning in the air. And all of a sudden, she was back in her bed. When she looked around, she could not even find her glowing ring. Now, Tina was left to wonder what the big prize would actually have been. I hope you all liked today's story. Today, we talked a lot about dreams and dreamlands. So now I want all of you to write down what your dreamland would look like. And make sure that you share this with your family and friends. I will see you all in the next session. Until then, stay home, stay safe, and bye-bye.